So no, this is not a video about drones like most of my other content is. Go figure, it's about these right here, Apple Vision Pro. I've really enjoyed using this headset over the past couple of weeks, and as a photographer and videographer, I need to find work. I need to go out and obtain clients that need my services. So as somebody that loves to fly drones, initially I was working with realtors and construction companies offering my services, aerial photos and videos, but I soon realized that I needed to do much more than just take drone photos and drone videos. I needed to know how to take regular photos, interior videos. I needed to know how to shoot with people on camera. I needed to know how to do everything that my clients wanted. And one of them, as of recent, is 360 3D tours, however you want to call it. Now, back during the COVID era, back in 2020, 3D tours, 360 tours really popped off. They became very popular. I personally used a lot of Matterport. I thought that the fidelity and the user experience was just the best, but as of recent, Zillow has really beefed up their 3D tour platform to be, in my opinion, one of the best. Now, as a vendor to these real estate agents, of course, I offer the aerial photos, the aerial videos. I do the inside and outside photos, the inside and outside video. Sometimes the agent wants to get on camera, all of the marketing things that a real estate agent would need. But as we move into this new era of computing, virtual and augmented reality, I've got to figure out a service that I can provide to my clients that allows them to show off their properties in a completely different way, which is what Zillow Immerse does. Now, if I'm somebody buying a home, of course, I want to see the photos, maybe some videos and some different information about the property. But if I want to actually see and experience what it's like to be inside of the space, I'm just going to go and check it out. Of course, the 360 tours in their current capacity exist, but I always find that it's cumbersome to click around the home and then try to, use your mouse to spin through. Whereas when you can actually put on some goggles and experience the home for yourself and look around, it really is a much more immersive experience. Now, let me say this. This is nothing new. Zillow Immerse is really just, I would say, the glue that brings all of this technology together. So virtual reality is nothing new. Augmented reality is nothing new. Applications are nothing new. Being able to look at homes online is nothing new, right? All this technology exists in different capacities, but Zillow is the first person to bring it all together in one application where I can view it seamlessly. So with that said, why don't we jump inside of the goggles and take a look at a couple of homes using Zillow Immerse. Okay, so here we are inside of Vision Pro. As you can see, I've got the pass-through enabled. So this here is my dirty apartment, my desk, my living room, my kitchen area. These here are my hands. So I'm basically using these as augmented reality glasses right now, even though my eyes are completely covered. Now, I quickly want to show you something here. We're currently running Vision OS 1.0.3. So this is one of the first builds of the operating system on first generation hardware. So I just want to set some expectations that this is very new. Now, also another thing I want to show you, as we open up the Zillow Immerse app here, we go to information. This here is version 1.0.1. So we're running a brand new app on a brand new operating system on brand new hardware. Now, as I mentioned, augmented reality is nothing new. Zillow could easily bring this application to, say, the Meta Quest 3, for example, but it seems like Apple has kind of invigorated their developers to make applications specifically for Vision Pro. So here we have Zillow Immerse as a first version, which of course could come to future headsets and future platforms as well. So from here, this is the main screen that you're greeted with. And I love when an application has been actually built for Vision Pro. So this has actually been made by Zillow specifically for an augmented reality view, as is with all of the other screens. We can pinch, we can move this around the area. As we move around, it's just going to be sitting there in front of us. And what's great is that this isn't just the Zillow app, except made for Vision Pro. Like, they didn't port over the iPad application. So for example, if I go to my main screen here and I go to my compatible apps, all these applications here are just apps that are basically iPad apps, but can run in a window inside of Vision OS. So for example, my Lightroom catalog here, I can open this up, but this is nothing more than just an iPad app, right? So it would kind of be cumbersome to try and edit photos using this UI. So what I'm trying to get at is that this is an application that was made specifically for Vision OS, and it actually gives you so much awesome functionality. So this here is the main screen. This is the home screen. You've got the showcase listings that Zillow loves. This is kind of the ones they've curated. Going down here, we have some more curated listings from them. The thing is, we can't search. There's no way to actually search listings or search for homes. So I can't show you a home that I say photographed. It seems like these are just ones that Zillow seems to like. It seems to be ones that they are pushing. And also, since I first downloaded the app, I don't think that this list of homes has changed, which is kind of interesting. You can go to all listings up here and actually filter them by state. So for example, I do a lot of work here in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. So we'll select Pennsylvania, and these are the homes that they are showing us in my area. Again, you can't like filter by area, you can't filter by beds or baths, you can't specifically search for a home or an address. These are just homes that Zillow has seemed to pick, and they are ones that they are going to show you, which is kind of a limitation right now, but there is one thing that's true about all of them. They all have 3D tours. So let's go ahead and get into the actual meat and potatoes here of this application. We'll go back to the home screen. The home that I've been looking at the most here is 8475 Lost Reserve Court, Parker, Colorado. And imagine right now, after we've kind of taken a spin through the application, that this is where you're starting your home buying process, right? Like this is where I'm inside of the space that I'm in currently, but I can actually fully immersively view the images of homes I might be looking at. Like for example, just on the home screen, I can get up close to the screen and look at this home in full resolution right in front of me. Like this screen is now huge, but it gets better when we actually click inside of the actual home. So of course we have a lot of the things that Zillow gives us right off of the bat. Like for example, the status of the home, we have the price of the home, we have the address, we have the person that's listed this property, we have the company listing it, we have information like beds, baths, and square footage. We go ahead and spin through the photos, which are, I would say, actually pretty nice. They look good, and that home is absolutely beautiful. But of course, there's more to this screen. So we can go and swipe down. We can get all this great information, like where the home is at. We can look at a lot of the different attributes of the home. So for example, what the HOA might be, how big your lot is, when it was built. So this is a fairly newer home. So this is everything you'd expect to see on a Zillow page, but it's been made specifically for Vision Pro, because again, this is not just like a Zillow web page I'm loading up in Safari. This is an actual dedicated application, which again, just makes the experience overall better. Now here's something cool. I can go through here and we'll go to the very first photograph, tap on it, and this is now full screen in front of me. So I can take the Zillow page, put it on over here to the side, and now just view the photographs. And notice around me, it's completely dimmed the atmosphere. I can actually go and grab the corner, I can make it bigger, and now this is like a life-size photograph sitting right in front of me. I can go through, I can spin through them, see them in their full resolution, and right now, even though I'm in pass-through, I'm just so focused on the actual images themselves because everything else has been made dark around me. And then of course I have the actual window here with all of the property information that I could say put directly underneath, and now this is my viewing experience. I have all the property information, and I also have like the actual home itself that I can see with these big photographs, which is great. But this is only scratching the surface. So let's go, we'll close out of the photos, we'll bring this page up back in front of us. Look up there in the top right corner, 360 tour. Once we tap on this, it now brings us fully inside of the 360 photos that have been captured for this property. So the way that I've been using this is by actually taking this, pulling it almost down below, like towards the ground, we'll leave it there, and now I have this fully immersive view around me to literally look in every single direction. But then I also have property information, so I could like spin through, I could look up and down, but then get right back and be fully immersed. Now there are some different controls here, and sometimes the window sizing can be a little bit different with Vision Pro, but we'll move it away. And now we have all of our different controls down here. So for example, we kind of have like this 270 view almost. It doesn't show us the top and bottom. It just kind of lets us live in this space. But if we press on the fully immersive icon there, now we are, I'm completely in the space. Like, you can look up, you can look down, there's the tripod that the person was using, and yeah, so this is cool, but personally, I actually kind of like this viewed better just because it grounds me a little bit and kind of makes me feel more like I'm there. I know that when taking 360 photos, like actually looking down, everything is all warped and distorted. You can see the tripod, so this view, in my opinion, is actually great. Now, I could take this and pinch and move it if I wanted to, so I'm keeping my head stationary and pinching and dragging, or as I mentioned, just using head tracking, you can actually just look around, right? Kind of getting a little bit dizzy here, but from here, you've got the actual controls, so I can go and tap to the entrance. From here, I can go back to the front yard or the foyer, so I'll tap on foyer, and then I'll tap on living room. So now all these controls are right here in front of me, and I can just continue to zip around the room. I can go back to the foyer. I can go over to the kitchen. Now I'm inside the kitchen and actually looking around. Like, this is crazy. And again, we can go and be fully immersed, which I actually think might work better inside of the home. But like with the field of view of Vision Pro and just with the way that I'm looking around, this feels natural. This feels like I'm legitimately inside of this home. Now, of course, I can't just go walking through the house, because if I did that, I'd be walking out, and now you can start to kind of see my actual room. For now, you're kind of just stuck to be stationary and click through the house. But again, this gives you such a better view than what it would give you online with the 360 viewer, because this fully immerses you. And again, the reason that this is so great is because Zillow took all the technology and made it easy to access. None of this is new. You could view a 360 photo inside of a home on any VR goggle headset out there. But now the fact that it's all cohesive with property information, with the ability to go and actually change your view, with the ability to just walk around the house, like, this is why this is so impressive. So this is cool, right? We'll go ahead, we'll click out of this here. So now we've kind of exited outside of the 360 tour, and we can also go to floor plan, which now generates this top-down floor plan of the entire property. If you look really closely, you can actually see information like size of each of the rooms. You can see where there's columns, like right there. The columns are just sitting there. You've got the garage, you've got the foyer, you've got all these spaces. And from here, I can look down here. I can adjust this to say floor 2. And now this just changes right in front of me to floor 2, which is crazy. And of course, I can look back over here. I can tap on 360 tour, and this just brings up like all the windows. So now this might be a little bit much because we have so much going on. But for example, I can drag my Zillow layout right there. I can look at the floor plan right here, and I can be fully immersed inside of the area. Like, this is just absolutely crazy. Why don't just, for example's sake, we go through here and we'll actually check out one more house. So this home, very beautiful. Let's see, what's another one? This one in Tennessee looks pretty nice. So we'll tap on there. You've got some nice photos here, nice property lines showing the outline of what you get. We'll go tap on 360 tour. Now we're here in front of the house, literally sitting here. We can go to the front yard, entrance, foyer, and now we're inside. I legitimately feel like I am inside, standing inside of the home. This is just super impressive. Okay, so hopefully taking a look at a couple of those homes gave you an understanding of where we're at right now. And the reason I want to make this video is kind of like a benchmark, right? Like, this now, in my opinion, is the standard. I think that most homes should probably get a 3D tour. And are they going to be seen because they're a Zillow showcase listing? Maybe not every time. But as this application is built out and as it's given more features, this is going to be the way that people look at homes. I mean, if I'm going to be the one buying a house, I rent an apartment right now, but if I was going to buy a home, I'd probably be looking through my Vision Pro right now. And hey, guess what? Zillow is smart because they're showing just their showcase listings, and those are the only ones being fed to me. So those are the ones that are going to win. Those are the ones that people are actually going to go and see potentially if they have a very expensive headset. Now, as I mentioned, this is not like singular technology available to just the Apple Vision Pro. This application could be opened up to the Meta Quest tomorrow, right? Which I'd love to see because it would just make this technology rapidly progress forwards. Speaking of technology, man, everything in every regard needs to get better. Again, we're on like the forefront of this technology, like version 1.0.1 for the app, version 1.0.3 for Vision OS, first generation hardware. There is just so many beginnings, so many firsts in this scenario that's not going to be the best. But the fact that we're at where we're at right now in the very beginning is pretty impressive. And I think personally, where this needs to get better is on the 360 camera side and on Zillow side, processing the images. These images should be lossless, uncompressed. It should feel like I'm actually in the space. But even if it was lossless and uncompressed and they didn't actually degrade the image in any way, these 360 cameras are taking horrible photos. Like, it just doesn't matter how you put it. You would need to have a full-on commercial 360 rig to actually capture an image that is high fidelity enough to make me feel like I'm actually inside of the space. For now, that immersion is a little bit ruined by the lack of quality, but again, we're on the ground floor and it's only up from here. So again, as a vendor, as a drone service provider, as a person that likes to provide my photo and video services to real estate agents. This is huge. It's going to change how I do business. It's going to change how my clients do business. And it's a very exciting time to be a photographer and anybody in the tech space. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, I'll talk to you later. Peace.